Hi, fifth grade. We're going to be reading chapter 12. Chapter 12 is called A Look, and that starts on page 110. Make sure you're following along with me. And here we go. So, chapter 12, A Look. Maura cornered him before he even got 10 feet from Mrs. Sanborn's door. Greg, look what I got last night, after we talked from the library. Greg was relieved. It was just a big book. Maura had it out of her backpack, and she pushed it into his hands. She was excited. It's called Understanding Comics, and it's great. And I read the whole thing last night, and I think I get it. Comics, I mean, how they work, and look at this. She handed him 2 pieces of paper. There were drawings on the sheets. Right away, Greg knew what he was seeing. It was the rescue scene from Maura's mini picture book, The Lost Unicorn. First, there was a close-up of the unicorn's head with its teeth showing and nostril snorting, and a reflection of the ogre's tower in its large, dark eye. Then, there was a wide view of the creature with its head lowered as it charged the tree next to the tower, and then another close-up of its horn bit into the rough wood. Bit into the rough wood, complete with a spiky sound balloon. Maura had drawn the face of the princess in the tower window as the unicorn struck the tree. The trees falling against the tower, the branches cracking, leaves flying, the slippered foot of the princess on a branch of the tree, the princess pressing her face against the neck of the unicorn, and then the princesses on the back of the rearing animal with a final close-up of her hands twined into the hair of the unicorn's mane. Maura had turned 2 picture book pages into 10 panels. Comic book panels. Greg was speechless, blown away. The sizing of the panels, the sequence of the pictures, Maura got it. She understood how a comic worked. There were just pencil sketches, and the scale wasn't always perfect, but the drawings were still so strong, so powerful. With a little work, and if they were inked and shaded just right, they would be fabulous. They would be dangerous. Maura was watching his face. What do you think? Are they any goods? Greg tried to keep his face blank as his mind raced ahead. If he told her how great these were, it would be like unchaining a monster that would be going to turn around and eat him alive. Because if Maura could make drawings like these, she could make fantastic comic books. And selling her comics, that would be easy. Too easy. She'd get rich in no time. Maura was plenty smart. It wouldn't take her long to figure out how to make comics and how to fold and trim the pages. And here she was, standing in front of him, and she wanted him to approve, maybe even help her, give her some advice. Greg kept his eyes on the paper, knowing that Maura was looking at his face, watching for clues. He frowned. Then he slowly shook his head and got ready to tell a lie. He looked up from the drawings. He was going to tell her these drawings were pretty bad. Tell her she'd better stick with her little picture books. Maybe tell her to give up drawing completely, and that she should definitely forget about the comic business. All this took only a second to spin through Greg's mind. He looked Maura in the eye, gave her a sad, understanding smile, and he said, but he didn't. Because Brittany Paxton and Eileen Ripley rushed up next to Maura, and Brittany said, "Ooh, this is so sweet." First, Maura and Greg have a big quarrel yesterday in math. Then Maura throws Greg a little note in social studies, and now Greg and Maura are all lovey-dovey out in the hallway. Turning to Eileen, she said, "What sounds better, Greg and Maura or Maura and Greg?" "I think Maura and Greg. It's perfect. Don't you think?" And then came a flood of giggles. A more experienced guy would have simply turned away and gone on about his business, but Greg panicked. No one, not even his notorious big brothers, had ever suggested that he liked a girl, or that a girl might like him. Except for the area around his left eye, Greg's whole face turned deep pink. "Don't be stupid," he snarled. "I can't help it if somebody throws papers at my desk, and I can't help it if she sticks some dopey pictures in my face either. Here, take this junk." He shoved the sketches and the book into Maura's hands and said, "Get away from me." Eileen said, "Ooh, so tough. We better call him Big Greg." Big Greg and Maura. More giggles. But by then Greg was gone, hurrying to his next class, trying to put some distance between himself and that whole scene. And he succeeded. The gym was all the way at the other end of the school, and the second Greg got there, he grabbed a basketball and challenged John Elders to a quick game of one-on-one. In 2 minutes, he was breathing hard and sweating. He was losing, too, but that didn't matter. What mattered was that he'd gotten away from those girls, all of them, away from what Eileen and Brittany said, and away from their laughter. But what Greg could not get away from was the wounded look on Maura's face, as he had shoved those pictures into her hands. As he charged in for a layup, he thought, I didn't ask her to show that stuff to me. If she likes her pictures, she can go ahead and try to do something with them. It's got nothing to do with me. Like she said, it's a free country. And as he spun around and scrambled from his own rebound, he thought, I don't owe her one thing. What's she ever done for me, except steal my ideas and bother me every chance she gets? But after saying all this to himself, Greg could still see that look on Moira's face. And that is the end of chapter 12.